Hello, Broken Justice. I hope you can hear me. Oh, it's Broken Justice True Crime now. In quotes. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Helps people to find you. Hello, Brandy James. Short and nice. I hope everybody can hear me. I have a giant box fan right here that's in front of me. Why wonder? Hello, Damon. Welcome, Damon. Right now, currently, it is 7 o'clock at night here where I am right now. We're coming to you live, and it is 113 degrees outside right now. And our AC for the home and for the studio went out. And they're telling us the soonest that they can get to us is Thursday, with each and every day in between now and Thursday going to be in the triple digits. You had to go to the emergency room and had to be in the hospital. Got out yesterday morning, and I'm doing good now. Well, I'm glad you're doing better. My daughter got rushed to the hospital yesterday. She had emergency surgery yesterday. Had her gallbladder removed. 1 second. Had to turn the thing off behind there. Otherwise, it was going to start distorting the actual vocal. How am I doing? I'm doing good. I'm hot, very hot. Why wonder? Oh my God. Lots of water and doing the best we can with the air conditioning and everything else. Well, right now, we went to the store and bought one of those window unit things, air conditioners. Trying to get by with that. That's not going to cool the entire house. Oh, she is, Damon. But yeah, she's doing better. They decided to keep her for a couple of days because when they went in to remove her gallbladder, they found that it was infected, or she became infected or something like that. I didn't get the entire story from my mother-in-law and my wife, but they're going to keep her for a couple of days to give her, massive doses of antibiotics, I guess. Run the bill up. I'm not sure what they're really doing. Brandy James, your AC went out 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks last year. Human in North Carolina slept in the camper at night. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock right now, and we're still in the triple digits here. Sleeping outside, I don't think was going to help me much, but it's a good idea. If I had a nice shady place, I would. It was potassium. It was critical. Oh, I'm sorry. The humidity here here is so high. It has stormed every night. We're in a severe drought where we live. We would love some rain. Any rain would be nice. Excuse me. So tonight, all the questions. Should all drugs be legalized, Damon? No. That's my. If you're asking for my personal view, I don't believe so. Do I think that we should, allow heroin and cocaine to be freely traded out on the streets? No. But, I can understand the view of people who, would say that if we legalized it all, it would take the cartels and everything out of it. If there's no, the supply is always going to be there. The demand is always going to be there, be it legal or illegal. But I don't think we should have heroin and cocaine and stuff like that on the streets. Weed, alcohol, to each their own. All right, but everyone, the questions tonight on True Crime Trivia are all general knowledge questions. There are 30 questions total on the quiz tonight. As always, they are multiple choice, and they will be here on the screen. So let's jump into this and get the first one on the screen. Question number 1. What is the difference between a serial killer and a spree killer? A, interaction with victim. B, time between killings. Or C, killer higher kill count. Or D, they dress like a clown. What is the difference between a serial killer and a spree killer? Charlie, welcome. Low potassium is very dangerous. Happy you're okay. Welcome to the stream, Charlie. I hope you had a wonderful week. Brooks, welcome, Brooks. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, Brooks. Hope you're staying nice and cool. Hope everybody's is. We have B. Anita Backrub. Interesting name. Welcome, Anita. Very Merry. Hey, all, dropping by to say hi. I'm Very Merry. I hope you've been doing well, Very Merry. Thank you for stopping in. I will. Just got my house clean. Yeah. So what is the difference between a serial killer and a spree killer? Interaction with victim, time between killings, higher kill count, or they dress like a clown? The correct answer for the first question is B. B as in boy. Time between killings. Very Merry, I will. Hope you're doing well. I'm trying to do the best I can. Very Merry. Our AC went out. It's in the triple digits here. But besides that, I can't complain. Denise Carr. Hi, Denise. Welcome to the stream, Denise. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, Denise. Excuse me. Okay. Question number 2. Mafia hitman Richard Koluski was born in which state? Hold on, I gotta drink some water. A, New York. B, New Jersey. C, Florida. Or D, New Hampshire. Where was the Iceman born? No AC. Charlie, they can't get to us until Thursday. Every heating and air conditioning company out there is booked solid. We are getting hit by a horrific heat wave. So all the businesses and homes and everything else that everybody else is having problems too, I guess. Thing's only 4 years old, the whole system, but it's out. It went off yesterday at about 11 o'clock. Get yourself some gel packs and stick them in a freezer. Fans, some water. I got a box fan right here in case my voice is distorted and you guys can't hear it. I've got a cooler, nice cooler full of blocks of ice and these things. Like you probably can't see it because it's blue. But they're freezer packs that you put around bottles of water. Yeah, Charlie, we went to Target. They were sold out of ACs. We went to Walmart. They were sold out. We went to Fred Meyer, which is Kroger. They were sold out. We finally found one at Costco, and the only one that they had was a small one. I think it was like 6,000 BTUs, but it's going to have to do. Damon, why are you asking these off-the-wall questions? Why am I asking these off-the-wall questions? About what? Oh, why is Damon asking? Damon always asks them. It doesn't bother me. Broken justice. So, where was Mafia hitman Richard Kaliski born? The correct answer is B. He was born in New Jersey. And hi, Lisa. Welcome to the stream, Lisa. I'm glad you can make it tonight. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. All right, question number 3. Pablo Escobar. Pablo Escobar's net worth at the time of death was how much? How much was Pablo Escobar worth when he died? 100 million, 30 million, 30 billion, or 300 million? Very Mary, help me watch. I think we have the troll. Troll? Who's the troll? Damon? Damon's not a troll. Damon's here quite a bit, actually. Guessing. Lisa is guessing D. Brooks is guessing D. How much was Pablo Escobar worth when he died? I'll tell you that right now. I had no idea how much he was worth when he died until I read the article where this one comes from. Why? I wonder is going with D. Hi, Karen. Good evening, Karen, and welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Pablo Escobar. How much was his net worth? Yeah. I recognize Damon. Okay. How much was Pablo Escobar worth? We got a bunch of C's and some D's. Not too many people guessing A, 100 million, or see, B is 30 million. No A's or B's instead of C, you know. Inner P's would say a gazillion. She would guess something that's not there, wasn't she? Wouldn't she do that? All right, the correct answer is $30 billion. The correct C is the correct answer for that question. His net worth was over $30 billion, and annually he gave away in his community of people around him. Why it was so hard to catch him for so long. But they estimate he gave away between $200 and $300 million every year. He had so much money, he just stored it in rooms, just stacks and stacks and stacks of money. He had no place to put it because the drug traffic game never got old. All right, question number 4. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. killed 6 members of his family. Which horror film franchise was inspired by his murders? A. Friday the 13th. B. House on Haunted Hill. C. Killborn. Or D. Amityville Horror. What movie was a horror franchise inspired by? Nope, she's gone. D 300 million. Which horror film was inspired by the murders? Lisa's guessing B, I guess. Easily Distracted. Good evening. Welcome to the stream, Easily Distracted. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. HCN, welcome. Welcome to the stream, HCN. I hope you had a great weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good. I'm glad you had an excellent weekend, Easily Distracted. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo Jr. killed 6 members of his family. Which horror film franchise was inspired by the murders? The correct answer is D as in dog. D as in dog. Amityville Horror was inspired by his murder spree. You know, the circumstances of the murder spree inspired Amityville Horror. I mean, the movie wasn't, series wasn't anything. All right, question number 5. What is Catherine Knight famous for? Catherine Knight. Love letters from Hades. Welcome. Pebbles 2020. Welcome. I hope you both had a wonderful weekend. Elaine, and welcome. Hi there. I'm kind of LOL. I'm here, kind of. Well, good. Well, I'm glad the 3 of you could make it. I hope you all 3 of you had a wonderful weekend. We're only on question number 5 out of 30. But what is Catherine Knight famous for? A, killing 20 men. B, mutilating her partner and cooking his head in a stew. C, rape and murder. Or D, insider trading. What is Catherine Knight famous for? All right, for everybody who doesn't know, I'm still here. You haven't lost signal. There's nothing wrong with your computer or device you are watching on. I just turn off the camera when I smoke cigarettes because I do not wish to trigger anyone who has quit. And no, it is not against YouTube policy. I have the email to confirm it's not. I just don't want to trigger people. It's not for everybody. Let's see. We got some whole bunch of B's. A. Amityville Horror movie was a great movie. Got a bunch of B's. He's distracted is A. Damon switched to vaping. I would switch to vaping, Damon, but I live in Washington State, where just about every type of vaping, flavor-wise and stuff like that, they're illegal. You can't buy them anymore. You can only buy just a regular, or you can buy menthol. And the menthol ones are impossible to find, at least in my area. Glowworm, good evening. So vaping is not really an option. You know, you can buy them. You used to be able to go to like 7-Eleven stores and you could buy everything from, the marijuana juice to, strawberry, mango, and all kinds of different flavors. But now they only stock like the starter kits, if you can find them. Most of the time they're sold out. Leave it to my state to screw something else up. Glowworm, is this a new room? No, we're in the same old room. It's just a different angle of the camera and setup, but same old, same old. It's when I turn it back on, turn the camera back on because I'm done. It's just a green screen behind me, Glowworm. Same window, same room. Jeannie, MCG, welcome, Jeannie. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Green screen, right on. I can turn the green screen on, put anything in the background, but because I'm wearing this color shirt, it fades me out. Let's see, green screen. Here's one for the green screen. No, I'd have to close the green screen again. I don't think it's going to work. Green screen. Okay. So from the going from what is my left, the girl in the white dress standing up there, the tallest one, that's my sister Kristen. Then there's my sister Dawn. The cute one in the yellow shirt is me, and my other sister Kimberly is the one in the green jumper and shirt all the way to your right that you see now. Hi, Kimmy Jean. That was taken in the 70s at some point. I know exactly where we are. We're sitting on my father's bench for his organ. Yeah. There's only three. Well, of those that were in the pictures, there's only three of us left: Kristen, me, and Dawn. Unfortunately, Kimberly, who was all the way to the right in the green jumper and shirt, we lost her a couple of years ago back. But we have another sister who's the youngest, and she's not in the picture because she wasn't born yet. That's why she's not in the picture. But and then we have an older brother. So how adorable. Did he say which part of Washington he's from? Damon, I'm in Eastern Washington. Eastern part of Washington State. Right now, it feels like I'm in the frying pan, of hell. Like no AC, it really sucks. But hey, good news. I'm watching the thermometer here live, and it's dropped 2 whole degrees since I started. In 22 minutes, it's dropped 2 degrees. So, what is Catherine Knight famous for? Question number 5. The correct answer is mutilating her partner and then cooking his head in stew. Yes. She decapitated him and then cooked his head in a stew. Now, He wasn't exactly what you call an innocent party, but he didn't deserve that. All right, next question. Question number 6. A lot of you might get this one. When Mark David Chapman killed John Lennon, what book was he carrying at that time? A, One Fish, Two Fish, Blue Fish. B, a coloring book. C, The Catcher in the Rye. Or D, To Kill a Mockingbird. What book was Mark David Chapman carrying at the time that he killed John Lennon? Oh, welcome to the channel membership, Sarah. I appreciate you joining. I hope you enjoy the playlist for members only. I really do need to go over there and count them up. I can't rely on YouTube to tell me exactly how many videos are on there. So let's just roundabout say it's 160 plus channel member only videos that, as a member, no matter what level you joined at, you now have access to 160 plus videos that go all the way back to the beginning of when I started my channel up to, I think, not even a week ago. We got a lot of C's, a couple of D's. Oh yeah, Sarah, we are definitely in a heat wave. There isn't supposed to be a single day this week that is supposed to be under 100. I think it's like 111 to 118 all week. That's pretty normal for this area. But that heat never comes until the end of July, normally. In those type of temperatures, but here it is a month. Well, it's the first triple digits we had last month, and that was extremely rare. Today we broke all kinds of heat records. Last night at 11:52, just before midnight, it was still 86 degrees outside. What book was Mark David Chapman carrying when he killed John Lennon? And then anyone got some more guesses? Anything? Well, the correct answer to this, Wendy jumped in at the last second there with the answer of C. Well, Wendy, you are correct. The answer is, what book was he carrying, is The Catcher in the Rye. What is the book that Mark David Chapman was carrying when he killed John Lennon? Yep. And FYI, he is not the only person who's committed murder who is a huge fan of that book. It seems to be popular with a lot of people who commit murders and who are serial killers. It is. Do you feel safe leaving windows open when it's that scorching hot? Glowworm? I mean, I don't know. To tell you the truth, I've never actually thought about it, to be truthful, glowworm. I mean, it was just under 100 degrees outside last night and just before midnight, so that certainly wasn't going to help any. So, excuse me. It is a great book. It is, isn't it? Sirhan. Lisa, I was going to put it one of the questions in here today about Sirhan. I was. All right. Question number 7. Oscar Pistorius was born in which country? I'll take the heat over tornadoes and lightning storms any day. I don't know, Sarah. You know, well, let me finish reading the question, then I'll make my comment. Oscar Pistorius was born in which country? South Africa, New Zealand, America, or the United Kingdom? I'm from Wisconsin. I was born and raised in Wisconsin, lived there, either in Wisconsin or Minnesota. And for, a great portion of my life. And as twisted as this sounds, when I was younger, I always, kind of idolized and looked up to storm chasers, those people who would go out and chase tornadoes. For some reason, that's always interested me. I don't know why, but it always has. I even have an entire DVD collection on storm chasers. They were made by the Weather Channel. It was part of a box set on severe storms, and then they put out a whole nother series on top of that, just about weather chasers. So, Gayla Denson, welcome. Good evening, Gayla. Me too. Storm chasers are the best. Yeah, and one of my favorite movies is Twister. Da-da! You didn't see that coming, did you? Wendy's going with South Africa. Lisa's guessing D. Jeannie's guessing South Africa. Oscar Pistorius was born in which country? Guess this could be a sports question, couldn't it? Well, the correct answer is Oscar Pistorius was born in A, South Africa. He was born in South Africa. Okay, here we go. Question number 8. What year did the famous O.J. Simpson trial take part? What year was the O.J. Simpson trial? 1989, 1993, 1995, or 1997? What year did the O.J. Hello, Kevin. Welcome. I hope you are doing well tonight, Kevin. I'm glad you could join us tonight. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. What year did the O.J. Simpson trial happen? Lisa Irwin's going with 93? Question? Maybe? Broken Justice, going with 1997. I am definitely staying hydrated. I guess it's supposed to be good for your skin too, right? Kimmy Jean, 1995. We had this giant old TV. I think it was 1993. Was it like a console TV? Like one of those big ones that sit on the floor? We had, speaking of console TVs, we had a big old console TV. It was made by Curtis Mathis. And we swore to God that thing was going to outlive us all. It just kept on ticking. It never quit. It's huge. I mean, the thing weighed like 1,000 pounds. It was super heavy. But we lugged that thing back and forth between Washington State, Minnesota, Wisconsin. Then it moved to Texas for a while. And then it moved back to Washington. The TV went everywhere. And the only reason why we don't have it to this day is because we sold it. Giant, it was huge. It was a while after I graduated and before my son was born. So 1995, Short Nice is going Short Nice. Lucky? So gigantic. Old TVs are the best. Yeah. Curtis Mathis, they still make televisions. Well, another company manufactures them for them, but they're not the same quality or, and everything else. Everything is built to expire at some point nowadays. People don't make anything to last forever. Question number 8, though. When was the famous O.J. Simpson trial? The correct answer is C, 1995. O.J. Simpson trial was 1995. I was in the service at that time, and I actually watched it on a little TV. It was happening in California at the time, But I mean, I just remember watching the live feed, of the O.J. slow getaway in the Ford Bronco, whatever they call that. The chase. What is 1995 for $1,000? What is 1995, Sarah? That was when O.J. Simpson trial took place. Jimmy Jean, your baby was 2. I was a bank manager in California, and we put on a TV in the lobby so the customers could watch it while waiting in line. Wow. I was, let's see, I don't remember if I was in San Diego or if I was at 21 Palms. Where the hell was I at that time? I can't remember, but it was. I remember watching it on this little tiny TV. It couldn't have been any more than 6-inch screen. Could have knocked me over with a feather when that verdict came in. I don't remember the verdict part of it. I just remember watching the actual chase down the freeway, in his Bronco. All right, question number 9. What serial killer stood 6'9" and was considered a gentle giant by most people? A, Ed Gein, B, Ed Kemper, C, Ted Bundy, or D, Barney the Dinosaur? Which serial killer stood 6'9" and was considered a gentle giant? The verdict shocked you too, Wendy? Reenie. Welcome, Reenie. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Reenie. Welcome to the True Crime Trivia Night. We are doing 30 questions. We are question number 9 right now, and they're all multiple choice, and you should see them on your screen. Too much TMZ. I cheated. You guys are smart. I'll copy. Brooks, 4-1. Do you think Oscar Pistorius was wrongly convicted? Do I think Oscar Pistorius was wrongly convicted of what he did? No. I think Oscar Pistorius meant to do what he did, to shoot his girlfriend and kill her. A lot of people want to talk about his disability and everything else, and they want that to be the storyline where it starts. But he's a gun owner. He has the responsibility of knowing what he's shooting at before you actually do it, and he didn't, and he did it. So I really like having the questions on the screen, Will. Well, thank you. I'm trying to actually make it better. So right now, what I'm playing with is a way to, it's going to minimize me in the upper right or the left corner. It'll minimize me there, and then the entire screen will be the question. I'm working on that. Good evening, Alicat. Nope, I think he did what he did. Yeah. Me too. He killed her in rage. I really do think that, but a lot of people want to play the disability part of it, and, start the narrative that way to make you feel sorry for him right off the bat. But, all right, the correct answer to this question is B, as in boy, Ed Kemper. Nope, I like it the way it is. It is now. Well, okay. Well, I'll take that to heart. Jeannie, thank you. Do you pronounce that Nita Phillips? Nita? Welcome, Nita. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Oscar thought it was a new event. Oh, Kevin. Ed Kemper. Just about everybody considered, that knew him, thought he was just a gentle giant. But they also called him the co-ed killer because he would, pick up co-eds and, and strangle them to death. But everybody considered him a gentle giant. He used to hang out with law enforcement at a local drinking, hole, bar called Off the Cuff or something like that. But, he would go there so you get information about how close they were to catching him. And everybody just thought he was a gentle giant. He called and confessed to the police. They didn't believe him because they thought he was such a nice guy. Yeah, he called it an actual officer that he knew that he used to get together with and have drinks with, and called him and told him where he was and confessed and gave himself up. Will, you're almost unbiased person on YouTube. Really appreciate the kind words about the police officers on yesterday's morning's live stream. Well, thank you, Gayla. I really appreciate that. But I think that, what people, when it really does come down to, is we need to judge people upon their actions and not group people together and say, look, everybody in this profession or this field or this color is terrible. Everybody, you have to judge individual people and on their merits. It's who I am. All right. Next question. Question number 10. What is the real name of the Grim Sleeper? Grim Sleeper. A, Lonnie Franklin Jr. B, James Soot. C, Ed Kemper, or D, James Dean? What is the real name of the Grim Sleeper? You just finished Mindhunters? Mindhunters is good. A, they got information from him if they brought him with him with shoes. Ed Kemper is a lot smarter than a lot of people give him credit for. And to some extent, he played the system at every angle he could. Little bit of Sandra. Welcome. Deidre Grayson, welcome. Well, I hope you both had a wonderful weekend. Meep, meep. Welcome, meep, meep. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. What is the real name of the Grim Sleeper? The answer to question number 10 is A. Lonnie Franklin Jr. Lonnie Franklin Jr. was also known as the Grim Sleeper. Michael Jones, by the way, watched the true crime documentary about John List. He murdered his whole family. Connie Chung interviewed him in prison several years ago. Very creepy dude. Very creepy would be an understatement there, Michael. An extreme understatement. An interesting fact about John List, the home that he shared there with his mother and family, was one of only 3 homes in all of America that had a ceiling that was for an indoor arboretum that was made out of stained glass that was installed by Tiffany & Company. 3 homes in America. Every one of those homes are gone. The Tiffany glass has been removed. So people buy like Tiffany lamps, and they collect those, and Tiffany vases and jewelry and stuff like that. But there are only 3 homes in America that had a Tiffany glass ceiling, and they're all gone. But John List was, definitely one creepy dude. Oh, I already read the answer to this one. All right, sorry. Got distracted. All right, question number 11. What is Ted Bundy's daughter's name? What is Ted Bundy's daughter's name? And sorry, that's a little error there. It should be A, Sue, B, Sarah, C, Rose, or D, Rhonda. What is Ted Bundy's daughter's name? Oh, it was. I've seen pictures of what it looked like, Wendy, after it was installed, and the mother had paid for it to be installed in that home. But the only other one where it was installed that was famous for the architecture and for the stained glass ceiling was in a gentleman who I can't remember. I'm drawing a blank on it. I was trying to remember this the other day because somebody had asked me about it. But he was an understudy of Franklin Lloyd Wright. The home was not designed by Franklin Lloyd Wright, but he was an understudy of Franklin Lloyd Wright. That was in his house, but that house burned down in like 79 or 80. It was built in I want to say, like 5 or 6 years beforehand. I mean, even as famous as Franklin Lloyd Wright is, all of his architecture, and designs and places he's built when he was alive, not even all of them are around still. You got to go, Gayla. Good night. Some locals burned the John List house, not knowing about the ceiling. Oh, I don't know if the ceiling was in it beforehand, Michael, because it had traded hands after what he did to his family, and then he escaped and moved on to, as assumed another identity. But the house had traded hands, I believe, once before it was eventually destroyed or whatever. But I think it was the next homeowners that actually may have had it removed, and that happened with the same home, another home in, I want to say it was like outside of Boston, someplace. In Massachusetts, it's near Boston. I could be completely wrong on the location, though. I could be mixing up 2 cases. I'm not the best at remembering details about architecture. I heard she lived in England and has a family. Well, it would have passed down to the next heir, Michael, but I do believe it was sold off. I don't think anybody in the family wanted to live there after what he did. I would have to, to be absolutely true about that, Michael, I would really have to check in on it again, because I think I might be mixing up 2 cases. But I know the Tiffany ceiling, for the indoor arboretum was in the John List home and his mom had that installed. So she paid for it, but they only did 3 of them total ever. And I don't know if it burned up in the house or if I'm thinking of another case, you know, and I'm mixing the 2 of them up. But Bundy's daughter, question number 11. The correct answer for this is Rose. C, Rose. You're right. The documentary talked about the ceiling in the List House. I love architecture. Now, question number 12. What is the book The Devil in the White City about? What is the book The Devil in the White City about? A, cop killings. B, government contract killings. C, H.H. Holmes. Or D, all serial killers. The book The Devil in the White City. What is it the book about? Really? Well, Wendy, it was Rose. So it still is Rose. She's still alive. At least I believe she is. Rainey Davis is going with H.H. Holmes. Alicat, got 2. There you go. Epic comeback starts right here. The Chicago World's Fair. Meet me. It's going with C. Lexi's going with B. Then Alessandra is going with C, H.H. Holmes. All right. For question number 12. What is the book The Devil in the White City about? Alley Cat's going with, I think it's C, is attracted D. Question number 12. What is the book The Devil in the White City about? The book is about H.H. Holmes and the Chicago World's Fair. Jeannie, the book is actually about the Chicago World's Fair. H.H. Jones killed a lot of people during. Yeah. Okay. That's I almost clicked on, gave you guys 11 again. Question 13. How many official victims are there of Peter Sutcliffe? Oh, A, 10, B, 13, C, 23, or D, 33. How many official victims are there of Peter Sutcliffe? Wild guess at best, and wild guess. Aaron VM. Welcome, Aaron. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight. Rini is 33. B, A, B. Who is that? Peter Sutcliffe? Well, Peter is serial killer. Can you tell us more about him, about Peter Sutcliffe? They called him the Angel of Death. Peter was British. Yes, he was. He was from Great Britain. Yorkshire Ripper. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of names for but a lot of people don't understand if they get like, where do the nicknames come from? For serial killers, how did one person become the Green River Killer? How did another person become the Boston Strangler? Where do those nicknames come from? A lot of times they get the nicknames directly from the media. They all just agree to call that person that until they're caught, and then you find out the name of them. Some of them are, the names are given to them from police officers, and detectives who will work in the case. It's either to say, well, that's part of this case or that's part of that case. But a lot of them are the mass media out there. Yep, newspapers and media. He got life insurance in the Broadmoor Institution for the criminally insane. Oh, I don't know how I messed that up. He got a life sentence. How many murders did Peter Sutcliffe? How many official victims? The correct answer is B, 13. You are correct, Aaron. The correct answer is 13. 13 official victims. All right. Question number 14. What was the Black Dahlia's real name? The Black Dahlia. Is there an aquarium in the room? Lisa, no. Lisa, unfortunately, my air conditioning for our house and our studio went out. We don't know what exactly the problem is. So there is a giant box fan right here in front of me. I have no air conditioning at all. And it is currently 109 degrees right here where I am sitting. The thermometer is right over there. And it's a digital thermometer on the wall, and it is reading 109 degrees. You're having pistachio gelato. Gelato is my reward for getting out of the hospital, and her name is Elizabeth Short. I feel like I am windy. I really feel like I'm melting. Everything about me right now is I don't want to touch anything. It's just like, but I am here for everyone tonight. As miserable as it is to be anywhere, I can't go in the house either. I mean, hell, we bought one window air conditioner. It's the only thing we could find. What was the Black Dahlia's name? A little bit of Sandra, says B, Elizabeth Short. Meet. Sorry, it's A. Kevin says nice sauna, right? So, I mean, the box fan is not doing a heck of a lot, but at least it's kind of, something that's bearable to help it keep, it somewhat. I have a big, huge, I have one of these, here, I'll show you. I have one of these in front of it, the cooler, and it's filled with ice. So the fan is blowing on the ice, which then is blowing on me. So it's kind of like air conditioning. A little. Feet in water. Your Genie's, yeah, your air conditioner's on the fritz, but it's only 93 here. So I don't feel, I'm so sorry for myself now. Yeah, ours went out. And then the whole system is only 4 years old. We don't know what happened. I wasn't home, and I got a call from my wife that the whole thing went off, and the temperature of the house and everything was, going up. And I was like, oh crap! It's a crying shame. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. My garage is 100 sauna, but the house is finished winter. Cool. All right. The answer to question number 14. What was the Black Dahlia's real name? The correct answer is A, Elizabeth Smart. Lexi Bullock, AC is necessary part of life in Southeast Texas. Yeah, it feels like Southeast Texas here, Lexi, this week. I think the lowest temperature we're going to get is Tuesday at 111. But the humidity on top of it all just kills you here. In Finland, finally, temps dropped in Michigan. Too damn hot. Oh, it's all right. It's crying shame. I'm just glad you made it, sweetheart. Lynn P. Elizabeth Short. Yep, Elizabeth Short was the correct answer to 14. All right, question number 15. What are the names of Madeleine McCann's parents? And yes, I am aware that this question came up on a couple weeks ago's True Crime Trivia night. But I didn't see it until after I was going through the answer key today. And I'm like, oh, darn it. We already had this question. So that is my bad. And because I made this mistake, at the end, there is a 31st question. There is a bonus question because this question has already come up once before. Ice and Ziploc baggies and put on your head. Meet. You guys just had a good storm in Texas? Well, that's cool. I hope that there wasn't any damage from it. I got friends who live in Texas and in Oklahoma, and you guys get some horrific freaking hail down there. I would not want that. Jeannie is going with, that'd be D. How about Kevin's just like, how about bad parents? They're just bad parents. Yes, of course they're bad parents. Kevin, where's Colleen tonight? Always glad to get rain. Tornado warnings last night, and my boys ran outside laughing. I used to swear that the trees in where our home was used to form an arrow, so the tornadoes would know where to go. The real duct tape bandit. I'm here, guys, just listening while folding laundry. Okay, welcome, duct tape bandit. I feel so toast with all your warm temperatures. Colleen, the cat lady, just got here. She's chilling. I'm here, guys, just listening, folding laundry. What is the correct answer to one of Madeleine McCann's parents' name? The correct answer is D, Kate and Gary. The correct answer, D. D is in dog. Chris Watts sucks. Thank you, Chris. He does. I agree with you 100%. Thank you for dropping in and saying that. So, Chris, I hope you had a wonderful weekend. All right, question number 16. How many potential victims of Jeffrey Dahmer's got away only to be returned by the police or somebody else? A, 10, B, 2, C, 1, or D, 11? How many potential victims of Jeffrey Dahmer's escaped and were returned by either the police or somebody else? Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. I am still here. You just cannot see me. I am hidden. But I'm still here. How many potential victims of Jeffrey Dahmer got away only to be returned by the police or someone else? Phone died soon. As soon as I said hello on the tablet. LOL. Had a great weekend. How about you, Will? Not bad. It's a crying shame. Not bad. Hot as hell. I mean, I could certainly use some air conditioning, but hopefully, someone cancels one of their appointments and they'll get to us before Thursday. Moments in Trading. Good morning or good evening wherever you're from. And hope you are having a wonderful weekend. Cheryl Williams. Hello, Cheryl. How are you doing? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us tonight for True Crime Trivia. Oh, you're in Portland. I think I know that. I just wasn't sure. But Portland, how's the temperatures down there? Up here across the border, we're frying over here. It hit 111 there today. Yep. Right now, Moments in Trading here, it is 109 right now. Brooks Banner says starter stream in 2 minutes. It does? I heard Oregon was seriously hot. It is. You have AC. Well, that's good. That's good. Ours was out. We lost the AC that runs the studio and our house. Something went wrong. I mean, it's a brand new system. Well, not brand new. It's only 4 years old, but still, there's nothing. Meet. Yeah. I don't know. What's the temp in Texas today? All right. How many potential victims of Jeffrey Dahmer's got away and were returned by the police or somebody else? The correct answer is C, as in cat. 1. They believed that the police officers believed it was a lover's quarrel, and they gave him back to Jeffrey Dahmer. And, this because I believe he was from Thailand or Laos or something like that, and he didn't speak a whole lot of English. But they returned him back to Jeffrey Dahmer. The inside of your car would melt. San Antonio, 90. Love the trivia. Well, thank you. Yesterday in Portland, it was 108 degrees, an all-time high for that day. Normal temps yesterday are like 73. I got to make a trip down to Portland, not this week, but next week. I'm going down to IKEA. I bought some stuff from IKEA, but they will not ship it here. because apparently I had clicked on for in-store delivery. So they canceled the order, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go down and visit my friends anyways. It's not that long of a drive. I mean, like it is, but, it gives me a great reason to, go see friends. I have a couple friends who live off of they're off of Martin Luther King Boulevard. Not to mention his victim has a hole drilled into his skull, which slightly impaired him. Slightly. that would be an understatement, right? All right, question number 17. Which duo killed a teenager in 1924 just because they wanted to commit the perfect crime? Which duo committed a murder in 1924 just because they wanted to commit the perfect crime? A. Leopold and Loeb, B. Harris and Klebold, C. Bonnie and Clyde, or D. Big Bird and Ernie? Sherry, welcome. How are you doing, Sherry? I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome. I'm glad you made the tribute tonight. I always think of the mom screaming, "I hate you, Jeffrey." I've only lived here for 2 years. I'm from San Diego. And with COVID-19, hardly seen anything here. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Moments in Trading. Well, I know, I don't know why you moved from San Diego, but I hated my time there when I lived there. Those San Fernando winds that would come through, it was like standing in front of a convection oven in the summertime. It was terrible. So I hope that, now with COVID, and everything, opening back up, I hope you can get out and see things. Portland is a great place to be, at least, for the scenery, because you have so many things available to you there. The coast is right there. You have a lot of hiking trails. You can walk, you're not that far from, you can have big concerts there, all kinds of things. You can't say Big Bird and Ernie with a straight face. What part of San Diego did you live in? Moments in Trading? Well, I went to the boot camp through MCRD San Diego. It's right next to the airport. And then I actually lived on base for a while I was training. And then I went from there to upstate California. Sherry says Portland is awesome. Okay, which duo killed and committed a murder in 1924 because they wanted to commit the perfect crime? The correct answer is A. Escanando. A. Leopold and Loeb. They committed the crime. They were fouled up by their own mistake. My daddy did boot camp in San Diego as well, Aaron. Marine Corps or Navy? Jeannie, no, I have not seen Stephanie Harlow's series on Bonnie and Clyde. I will watch it, though. I'll go check it out when I have the time. Marine Corps? Well, thank you to your father and to everybody else out there who's ever served. I really appreciate their service. All right, question number 18. What crime goes up the most as heat goes up in the summer months in the U.S.? What crime goes up as the summer heat levels rise? A, shoplifting, B, DUI, C, rape, or D, murder? What crime rate goes up as it gets warmer? I'm sorry about that, Aaron. Hello, Linda. How are you doing, sweetheart? Thank you for stopping in to play True Crime Trivia with us tonight. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. All the above. People get homicidal in the heat, Aaron says. But we're looking for what crime goes up the most as heat goes up in the summer months in the U.S. Little bit of the thunder says D. Darn it! I was trying to remember where the song, and I thought I had the answer. Good thing I didn't say it, but I just checked YouTube. It's Lou Bega. Lou Bega, Mambo number 5. Ellie, welcome to True Crime Trivia. And S. Singleton, welcome. I hope you both had a wonderful weekend. And Jenzar 044, welcome. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and thank you, to each of you for joining us tonight. Murder makes sense because it's the only one that might increase with just anger, but I still say A, moments and trait. What crime goes up as the heat goes up in the summer months? The correct answer is D, as in dog. It goes up the most. Murder rates go up in the summer months more than any other crime. All the crimes there that I listed go up in the summer months, but murder rates go up the most. You'd think DUIs do, but unfortunately, it's the opposite. As the winter months and the holiday seasons are around, DUIs go up more in the during around the holidays when it starts to cool off. That's old Mambo number 5. What happened to Mambo number 1 through 4? I don't know. We'll have to ask Sandra. A little bit of Sandra. Every time I see the name, it keeps on. The song kept on popping in my head, and I'm like, what song is that? I was wrong. But it is Lou Bega. Lou Bega. Little bit of. Well, it's called Little Bit of. His official title. Wish I could play it, but I can't. I figured DUIs because my guys' friends always want a cold beer in the hot sun. Yeah. All right. Question number 19. What is still legal in Washington, New Hampshire, and Delaware, but not anywhere else? A, waterboarding. B, hanging. C, death by firing squad. or D, listening to bad 1980s pop music? What is still legal in Washington, New Hampshire, and Delaware? Will there be an upgrade to Mumbo number 6 to fix bugs and to add new features? Love that song. It's a great song. Every time I see your name pop up, I always the song always comes to the head, to my mind. Guessing C. Colleen is going with C. Oh boy, going with B, says Aaron. Aaron says, I'm old, but the 80s had some great music. They did. There was some absolutely great music during the 80s. There's a current execution on hold because it chose the firing squad. Gens are S044C. Don't know, LOL. Jen stuck in the 80s. The She-Bop. Now, see, I hear the words She-Bop. I automatically think of the Hanson brothers, because that's the first thing that pops in my mind. But I know what you mean. She-Bop music. Got you the big 55-inch TV tonight, Will. My mom's loving it. Cool. 55 inches. I'm sure that's really, like, complexion really looking great on 55 inches. I'm sweating like crazy over here. Oh, see here. Well, answer to question number 19. What is still legal in Washington, New Hampshire, and Delaware? The correct answer is B, hanging. B, hanging, when it comes to the, of the answers that are there. Hanging is still a legal choice in those states. All three choices offer three options. Hanging, electrocution, and they offer lethal injection. Those are the three options in those three states. And there, in case you're wondering, there has been 2 inmates in Washington State who ate themselves to the point where they were obese. So they figured, well, you can't hang me because it'd decapitate me if you hung me. So they then were forced to go on a diet and lose weight just so they could execute them. Winner, winner, too late for dinner. The Hanson's brothers, that's M-Bop. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just saying that's the first thing that comes to my mind, though. Question number 20. What is the #1 most stolen car worldwide? And yes, this car may have different names in different countries, but it's still the same car. All right. A, Ford Tempo. B, Honda Civic. C, the Volkswagen Jetta, or D, Honda Accord. And I had to put VW in there. I did not have enough characters to actually spell out the entire thing, Volkswagen. So that's why it says VW only. Which is the #1 most stolen car? Kevin's going with Honda, since 2 of them are Hondas. Yep, you don't need lethal injection, so that person picked a firing squad. Yeah, they're having a terrible time in certain states just coming up with the the concoction that they use for lethal injection. Mainly because the company that makes it, the phenobarbital that they used as part of the lethal injection, they never meant for their medication to be used that way. So if I was a thief, I'd steal B, a Honda Civic. S. Singleton is going with Honda Accord. D. Linda is going with B. Is there nobody wants to steal a Ford Tempo? Oh, Aaron said Ford Tempo. Talk about pop music. Hi, Starfire. Pop music. Wow, that's 1979? I had no idea that that was 1979. That long ago? M-pop? Pop music? I had no idea. Well, I knew it was a while ago, but I didn't think it was that long ago. Maybe Dyed Pinto, not Tempo. I switched. I literally have no idea. Okay. Hondas last forever. I'm originally from LA, La Grande, Oregon. And it's not quite as hot there. My friends say it's hot enough, though. La Grande. Trying to remember the last time I've been to La Grande. It's been at least, gonna go with three years, somewhere in there. It's a nice area. Yes, now that song's in your head. My husband is an old Ford Pinto. Has an old Ford Pinto. He's making it into a race car. Oh, that's cool. A lot of our friends are here. We used to race at a local raceway that's since closed down. The nearest one is maybe 60 miles from here. And we used to race in what's called the bomber or stock class. They had several different classes, but Pintos would be in what they called the mini stock. At least here, that's what they called them. We never got into mini stocks. We raced, Chevelles, Monte Carlos, stuff like that in the street stock division. Fixo Repair Daily at Ford. All right. The correct answer to this one is D, as in dog. A Honda Accord. Most stolen car around the world. Around the world by far. The Honda Accord. Ah, okie dokie. Welcome, okie dokie. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Firing squad became an option in South Carolina after it became impossible for them to get the lethal injection drugs. Yeah, that's happening everywhere. Knew the Accord one. They have a fatal flaw. I'll tell everybody about this since none of us are going to go out and steal cars. So the reason why the Honda Accord is so stolen, it's the most prevalent car stolen, is because of the design flaw in the door itself. Here's your lock mechanism. If you go just to the right of the lock mechanism, and you take a screwdriver and you hold it on the door and hit it with your hand as hard as you can, it'll go through the door and it'll punch a hole in the door, and you can actually use the screwdriver to tip it up and down, and it'll unlock the door. It's only found on the Honda Accord and the Honda Odyssey models, and they've never changed it. Even the brand new Honda Accords have the same flaw, but the Civics and everything else, they have an actual brace that runs right there, and where the Honda Accord's lower, that would stop it. That's why it's the most stolen car around the world. Thieves know this. I got one with these right. When did serial killers got them right? Your Honda Accord got stolen, and a cop told me it's the door. Yep, it's the door. All right, next question. Question number 21 already. Wow. What percentage of Americans are currently in jail or prison serving longer than 12 months? Excuse me. A, 30%. B, 10%. C, 25%. Or D, 20%. What percentage of Americans are currently serving longer than 12 months in either jail or prison or combination of it? I got a Camry instead because of it. Camrys are nice cars. They're reliable. Get great fuel mileage. I've owned a couple. Male friend's dog, go see. So my answer is C, 25%. Okie dokie, guessing B, 10%. Starfire is going with D. What percentage of Americans are currently in jail, prison, serving longer than 12 months? You're right, Jen. It is. You are absolutely right. It's either A, B, C, or D. He's the distractors going with A. Linda's guessing A. The correct answer to question number 21. I don't think that's correct. 330 million people, about 3 million in jail. No. The correct answer for what percentage of Americans are currently in jail or prison serving longer than a 12-month sentence, the correct answer is D as in dog, 20%. Debbie, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Debbie. 20%. What percentage of Americans are in jail or in prison serving longer than a 12-month sentence? All right, question number 22. How much did the crime rate fall in America between 1993 and 2013? A, 88%, B, 76%, C, 48%, or D, 60%. And FYI, as it says right there, it had nothing to do with longer sentences. The three strikes policy did not do a damn bit to decrease the crime rate. You just got here, Debbie? Well, I still hope you had a wonderful weekend. How much did the crime rate drop between 1993 and 2013? A lot of C's. Linda's going with D. Why it decreased? Why did it decrease? Short, nice. I'll get into that after the answer. Ellie is going with 48. It's a guess. MN. Welcome, MN. Does that stand for Minnesota? Or your initials? Or something else? But either way, welcome to True Crime Trivia Night. I hope you enjoy it. You don't remember it dropping? Who was the president for that 20-year period? Well, most presidents only serve 2 terms, which would be 8 years, and that's a 20-year period. So thank you. They are by your initials. Okay. Well, welcome to the stream anyways. I hope you enjoy it. Is it me or the words blurry? I hope they're not blurry. I don't have my glasses on, so everything is blurry to me right now. I read these statistics about a month ago, but I can't remember. So C is your guess. It's just to eat, says Kevin. LOL, I need new glasses. I think I do too. Can't get in to see my optometrist to have an appointment. But if all I need is a stupid script, I'll go order them online, someplace cheaper, or go to like Costco, catch one of the deals that they have at Costco, or go to settings and choose a higher resolution. If it looks blurry, you might have to exit the video and then rejoin. Okay. So from 1993 to 2013, the crime rate across the board fell in America wide. How much did it fall? Well, the correct answer is C, as in cat. It fell 48% across the board. Now, that's not all crimes. That's the crime rate in general fell 48%. Why did it fall? Mainly because of sentencing reform acts that were put into place, along with alternative sentencing guidelines in a lot of places. So instead of incarcerating people in large numbers, like we do, that's what we do in America, we incarcerate people for everything, because that's what we like to do. They started offering options like drug court. They started offering things like court for veterans, where they could seek alternatives to incarceration. Maybe the reason why they were in court is because they got arrested for a crime. Instead of being incarcerated for a year or 2 years on a drug offense, they give them treatment, send them to treatment instead. They keep clean for 2 years. It gave them an alternative, which lowered the crime rate. That, and we also realized that there are some things that we just didn't need to incarcerate people in massive doses, rounds for. So there's more than one reason why the crime rate fell. It had nothing to do with the 3 strikes policies and stuff like that they wanted to put in. Machino, Nachito, Mama Chito, welcome. All right, next question, number 23. What was Chong, fucking whatever. You guys can read it. Big Harp and Willie Little Harp famous for? Mikhail. I think it's pronounced Micah, but I'm not sure. I think the J is silent. What were they famous for? And I'll be right back in 1 minute. Good night, Linda. You have a great day and a great week ahead. I don't know why it's doing that. Trying to move the stream up and it. 3 seconds policies work good for baseball, though. Games were really long before that. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. It's currently 107. Sounds like the circus roundup. Number 23. What were they famous for? The correct answer is B, as in boy, murder. All righty. Question number 24, ladies and gentlemen. There were no police officers in Anglo-Saxon England. So who arrested people who committed crimes? A, any man could. B, wife of the town priest. C, only the church could. Or D, the wife of the town butter. That's supposed to be butcher, not butter. That was my mistake. Not town butter, but butcher. Yep, that was my mistake. There were no police in Anglo-Saxon England. So who arrested people who committed crimes? And it's supposed to be butcher, not butter. Obviously an autocorrect. My Life as I Know It, Desiree. Welcome. James Taylor. Hello, James. Long time no see, James. I hope you were doing well, James. And both of you, welcome to the trivia. We are on question number 24 out of 30. I hope you both had a wonderful weekend. You hate autocorrect? I'm not a big fan of it myself, Colleen. Especially when I'm trying to like send a text message. Good to be back. You too, sir. Thank you. Meat. They had the best meat pies. The murderers. In Anglo-Saxon England, there were no police. Who could make an arrest for people who committed crimes? Any man, the wife of the town priest, only the church could, or the wife of the town butcher. Hi, Tina Hansen. How are you doing, sweetheart? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the True Crime Trivia Night. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Tina. The Dairy Maid. the Dairy Maid. It's butter. It's butter. Okay. There were no police officers in Anglo-Saxon England, so who could make arrests of people who committed crime? The correct answer is A. Any man could. Any man could arrest someone if they committed a crime. Now, as a bonus option, I'll give you guys a bonus here for this. What age did they have to be? Between what ages? What is the youngest and to the oldest? They had an actual stipulated age group. They had to be between a certain age group. If you want to guess at that. They had to be between a certain age group. Sarah's going with 16 to 18. Hey, any man could do it. Moments and Train, 16 to 50. Meet 14. It's a Crying Shame, 12 to 45. Gianna Marie is going with B. The answer was A, Gianna. Citizens arrest, 13 and up. $16 to $60 for MN. 1618, 1470. Kevin's going with 2025. Give it a little bit more, and then we'll move on to the next question after I tell you the answer. Okay, the correct answer for the age group that they had to be to make an actual arrest was between the ages of 15 and 55. 15 to 55. They had to be in that age group. They called them an adult at the age of 15. And they were a man aged 15 as an adult. That's, back in Anglo-Saxon England, who could make an arrest. I want to make it a citizen's arrest, LOL. So if you guessed anywhere in that age group, you were correct. All right, question number 25. How many different crimes carried the death penalty as a punishment in England, UK, in 1688? How many different crimes? And look at the numbers there, ladies and gentlemen. How many different crimes carried the death penalty as punishment in England in 1688? The options are 10, 30, 50, or 60. How many different crimes carried the death penalty in 1688 in England? Bex. Welcome, Bex. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Bex. I did Bex. I mean, kind of a weird weekend, but my daughter got rushed into emergency surgery. My air conditioning for my house and my studio went out. It is currently 109 degrees approximately here in the studio, and then I don't know what the temperature is outside. I'm guessing it's probably hotter than that still. But I'm surviving. I'm making a go of it. Not many people would be left if it was 60 start fire. You'd be surprised. The numbers, obviously, it's either 10, 30, 50, or 60. I just guessed high because they used to execute a lot of people. Wendy, welcome. Wendy's going with A. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, Wendy. Welcome to the True Crime Trivia. I think Aaron is right, and I'm wrong on this one, as always. Well, Tina, we'll see in a minute here. Sarah's going with B, C, and D, but now I will say C. I'll give you an example of one of the things that was on the list that was punishment could be execution. All right. So the correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is D, 60. There were 60 crimes in England that used to be punishable by death. 60. 60. All right. As an example, here is an example of a crime that used to be punishable by death. You're walking down the street and you see an apple tree in someone's front yard. If you pick the apple from the tree and you eat the apple, it was a petty theft crime. But if you went to the market downtown and you stole that same apple from a vendor who picked it off the tree and then went there to sell them, you could get the death penalty for that same apple. That was one of the laws that was on the books. You could be executed for the apple if they stole from the vendor downtown at the farmer's market. But if you picked it yourself, it was just a petty crime. Oddly cruel, James. Yeah. And a lot of the different death penalties they had the idea of, if we have such a harsh penalty for this crime, it will deter people from committing other crimes. Likewise, here in America, we have the death penalty, and we enforce the death penalty in a lot of different states. The death penalty in America has never been a deterrent for committing, for crimes such as murder. It's a proven fact. The Department of Justice has known since back in the 70s when they had the moratorium across the United States. That was in, 1973, I believe, when they put a moratorium on the death penalty. They looked at it, every state that actively had and used the death penalty at that time, it was never a deterrent for actual murder. It didn't stop murder. It's never stopped murder, but we have it anyways. There would be a guy hunting in public for picking pockets, and there would be people picking pockets of those watching. Yeah, in England, in the UK, at the same time when they had those 60 different crimes that were where you could get the execution, it was very common for businesses to hire thieves to catch other thieves. It is true. It's a crying shame. We have to find another way, though, because the death penalty is, I'm a proponent. I believe we need the death penalty. There are some people who just don't deserve to breathe another breath of air. But then there are people who are, committed, heinous crimes, like murder, who get the death penalty, who don't really deserve it. And unfortunately, we've put a lot of people to death here in America, and we've sentenced, and people have been exonerated from death row. Our justice system is not perfect, but at what point do we sit back and say, it's the best we have, and we don't need to change it? Yeah, Kevin. If I always joke around, Kevin, that if the state of Texas could install electric bleachers, they would install electric bleachers and zap, 30 or 40 at a time. Okay, next question. Moving on to number 26. Enough about my rant. Number 26. When was the first official police force started in England? UK. A. 1699. B. 1711. C. 1829. Or D. 1904. And I will preface this with there were police departments that were around before the earliest date there, 1699. There were police departments around, but they were privately funded by individuals. They were not a police department that was paid for by the public. So we are looking for the answer of when was the first official police force started in England by the public, for the public, not a privatized police department. Moments in trading. D. The Keystone Cops. C. Got a B, B, D. Good night, everyone. I have some dogs to groom tomorrow, so I have to get up early. Have fun. Thank you, Jen. And you have a great week, Jen. Thank you for stopping in and playing True Crime Trivia with us tonight. I hope you have a wonderful week. I feel like I should know this. B? A little bit of Sandro going with C, 1829. This is too fun. Well, thank you, Aaron. I'm glad that you enjoy this. M. Zigma? You pronounce it Maziga? Gina? M. Now, I'm going to butcher it at this hour. Sarah. the bobbies. When was the first official police force started in England? Not, again, privatized. Number 26, the correct answer is C. 1829 was the first official police force was started in the United Kingdom, and when it was a police force that was paid for by the people, for the people, not a privatized. Before then, certain groups of citizens would hire police to make their own police forces and pay for them to patrol only affluent areas, or they would pay for them to patrol the business districts to keep a level on crime, but they didn't pay for a generalized police department for the people. But 1829, and they are still there today, the same police department. So question number 27. Hey, look, a question that's not regarding the United Kingdom. How many paintings were stolen at the Gardner Museum heist in 1990? How many paintings were stolen? A, 23, B, 10, C, 13, or D, 21? How many paintings were stolen? I like this game because I can do poorly and no one notices. Brooks, if I wasn't actually reading these questions and I didn't actually do the research and put these together, I wouldn't know half of these myself. Especially tonight. Out of the 30, I probably knew maybe 15. If I have to be honest, I didn't know. We had a big private police force here in the U.S. in the 1800s for big crimes. Pinkerton. Yeah, but we also had at moments in training. We also had the Western Union had their own police department. Wells Fargo, Stagecoach, they had their own police department. The railroad barons, they had their own police departments. We weren't too far behind, when it came to privatized police departments. And it wasn't uncommon, also at the same time, if you go through some like the older parts of Boston or New York, you'll actually look up on the buildings, you'll see an actual symbol that's in the actual bricks themselves. Those are for different fire brigades, for the fire departments that were privatized. They wouldn't come put out your fire unless you had a certain shield on your actual building. It wasn't uncommon back then for them in New York and Boston and Philadelphia to show up and they go, oh, that doesn't have our shield up there on that building, so they just take their their fire brigade and go on down the street, go back to where they came from. Will, where is this museum located? I don't have a clue, Aaron. Sorry. Don't have a clue where the Gardner Museum heist occurred. It's in Boston. The paintings were never recovered, Brooks says. This is one of the questions I have no information on at all. I mean, I verified it, but I don't remember where it was. I did this list a while ago. The shield was an indication that they had insurance. Yep. But it had to be for insurance through the fire department that was coming to put the fire out. They worked. The fire department was paid by the insurance companies. Privatized. They wouldn't just come put out any old fire. I didn't know that until I went on a walking tour of Boston. Really cool, and learning about the actual city itself. You knew a guy that worked for a fire brigade? I had a friend who once was a volunteer worked for a volunteer fire department. But the county decided that they didn't want volunteer fire departments anymore, so they were taken over by actual city, and they got rid of a lot of the volunteers. I think he ended up quitting because he already worked as a fire. He worked for a fire department that was paid for by the government, basically. Okay, number 27. The correct answer to this one is C, as in cat. 13 paintings were stolen in total. FYI, Bat Masterson was found, a famous lawman. He shot Billy the Kid. There's some disagreement with that, let's say. Moments in trading. Some people believe that Billy the Kid actually escaped and that it was all a setup, that the individual that was reportedly supposed to be Billy the Kid wasn't really him, and that Billy the Kid lived a long, fruitful life, I believe, in New Mexico or someplace else, or maybe it was in Colorado. But generally, the history books say that Masterson killed him. See my comment before. I subscribe to an antique auction channel here on YouTube, and they just auctioned off one of Bat Masterson's single custom-made guns. That's cool. I don't subscribe to any auction channels or antique channels. I do subscribe to a gun channel that's called Forgotten Weapons, and it's not about shooting guns. I mean, Ian does go out and shoot guns, sometimes, but it's more about the history behind the actual weapon itself and where it came from, who invented it, and, where its moment in the history of firearms, is at. Okay, question number 28. A company producing a good with hazardous materials inside and not notifying the public is considered what? The actual crime of it. A felony, B, an infraction, C, liability, or D, a misdemeanor. A company producing a good with hazardous materials inside and not notifying the public is considered what? Felony, an infraction, a liability, or a misdemeanor. Even today, more crimes are solved by privatized police departments. Pay for individual talent better, but local PD acts like they had handed it during the press conferences. You'd be surprised how many privatized groups are out there who are solving cold cases. A lot. I mean, I lost track of how many cold cases have been solved by, web sleuths and those with the Charlie Project. Are people associated with both of them? Because I'm a member of both. I know there's been more than, I'd say, probably between the two groups. Couple of dozen that I can remember right off the top of my head. I'm sure the number's larger than that. A company producing a good with hazardous material inside and not notifying the public is considered a felony, an infraction, a liability, or a misdemeanor. I'm praying for Summer Wells. Summer Wells' case is tragic. Don't know. I don't know, Lisa says, don't know. All right, the answer to question number 28 is C, as in cat. They are considered a liability. Any breaks yet? Any, Sarah? Should we put breaks in the trivia? Like, do 10 questions and take like a 5-minute break. I mean, if you guys think we should, I'll definitely consider it for the next one. I can only make this better if I see it in the comment section below, or that's how I started with the trivia question and the answers on the screen, was because it was suggested by you, the viewers, that it would be easier if they knew and can actually read the question on the screen. I mean, we don't have to. It doesn't have to be 5 minutes, but we, do like 10 questions, take a couple minutes, break in between. Oh, on Summerwell, no. But either way, same question though. I mean, if you guys think that we should, put it down in the comment section. Let me know. So the answer to that one was C, liability. Question number 29. What is the name of the daughter in Abducted in Plain Sight? What is the name of the daughter abducted in plain sight? Is it A, Jan, B, Ruby, C, Annie, or D, Marianne? The daughter in Abducted in Plain Sight. What is the daughter's name? DNA got Stephanie Lazaro. Good, yeah. She's talking about that, yeah. Is that a movie? Okie dokie. There have been several movies that have been done on Abducted in Plain Sight. I think it's been all over the internet, TV, you name it. I mean, I'm not talking about movies made for the theater. I think more like direct to TV kind of stuff. I know it's been all over, but this book. What year? Abducted in Plain Sight? I do not know. I mean, I've read a lot about the case and the mom, but I don't remember what year it was. Meet is going with B. Kevin is going with A. Colleen is going with C. Maybe Annie? How have I not heard of this documentary? I need to catch up. It's on Netflix. I know it, yeah. Manachito. I believe you are correct. I do believe it is on Netflix now. But I mean, it's been everywhere. I know it's been on the Lifetime Network. It's been on Crime TV or Court TV. (1974). All right. What is the daughter's name? And Abducted in Plain Sight. If the crying shame is guessing Jan and it's a crying shame, you are correct. It is Jan. Jan is the correct answer. It's a crying shame. Got it correct there. All right. Question number 30. And don't forget, we have a bonus question. Number 30. What's the name of the killer in Netflix Don't Fuck with Cats? What is his name? And I'm sorry for actually saying the word instead of just saying the bleep. What is the name of the killer with the Netflix Don't F with Cats? A, Luke. B, Lucas. C, Luca. And D, Logan. Aaron, you taking a huge crime break? Well, Aaron, I've talked about the Watts case 3 times in the past 2 years. I get tired of just hearing his name, but it's come up everywhere. Only reason why I've even covered it in the last couple of months is because, well, people asked me. They wanted me to report on it. They wanted me to verify some information, documents, rumors. So I helped other people out. I covered it shortly. I made 1 short and I made 2 videos. So what is this 6th SOB's name? Oh, good, Aaron. I hope I don't ever bother anybody. Trying to stay away from cases right now that are about crimes against children, because oh my gosh, there have been so many of them that have hit the news lately. Summer Wells, it was just one of them. Okay, so question 30. The correct answer is C, Luca. Moments of trading. Who's Chris Watts? Yeah, right? Okay, bonus question. We are bonus question time. Bonus. What is The Keepers on Netflix about? What is The Keepers about on Netflix? Witches, nuns, dolls, or hoarders? What is the series The Keepers on Netflix about? So a show on Chris Watts today about his boyfriend Dylan. Monachito says nuns. Stockbar says Saw. According to the thermometer, is now 102. Making progress in the right direction. What is The Keepers on Netflix about? Is it about witches, nuns, dolls, or hoarders? The correct answer to this one is B as in boy, nuns. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all 30 questions for tonight's trivia. And yes, I threw the bonus question in because, well, I noticed that there was the one question on there about the McCains that I already had on a previous trivia night, but I didn't notice it until afterwards when I was going back through them again. Why is it called The Keepers? Moments in Trading. I have never watched it. I picked those 2 out of about Netflix because I was trying to think of something that would, that maybe people have watched since they've been home because of the COVID shutdown. I was going to do, the Tiger King or throw something like that in there, but I think that, it's kind of come and gone. That, and I just don't want to read anything about Carol Baskin. Aaron, Bye. You have a great week, Aaron. Thank you again for stopping in and watching True Crime, doing this True Crime trivia with us tonight. Thanks, Will. Hang in there, buddy. I will. I'll survive. I'll find a way to survive all this. Lisa, you only got 7? I was watching last week when I went into the hospital, and I got up today just in time to see you again. Well, thank you, Jeannie. And I hope you're doing much better, Jeannie. Thank you, Okie dokie. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. But you know I'm going to donate it. I will. I don't need the money. I appreciate it, and but I feel that the charity needs it much more than me, because they're going to do so much more with the money than I can. But I really do appreciate it. Is it good? I was wondering. I was reading about it. It sounded like a good premise. There's a story behind it all. Tara Wells, I saw your video on Lori Vallow's visit to mental hospital and the rules of the mental hospital. It was very thoughtful, thorough. Oh, thank you, Tara. She just shipped out. I believe on Friday. She is no longer in the county jail. She is actually physically there at the state mental hospital now. Maybe somebody else can answer that, Sarah, but I don't know the answer to that. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I just saw the brief description about it, and it sounded interesting, but it didn't say, who actually committed the crime. Colleen, she's doing better. She'll be out of the hospital hopefully either tomorrow or Tuesday. I think they only plan on keeping her for another day, but it all depends on the blood work that comes back. If she has the infection inside of her body, they're probably going to keep her for another day. And she'll get released Tuesday. Do you know if the judge has made a decision on all this nonsense that Means filed? No, Jeannie, they have not ruled on any of that yet. I'm guessing that she was sent because she thinks she is some sort of prophet. That would be like the $1 million question, Moments in Trading. We don't know exactly what caused Mr. Means to. Is it a legal maneuver to send her there to the initial part of it to be evaluated, to be ruled mentally competent, and was that like the legal maneuvering on his part? Was it something that he was really worried about? You think you have to logically, you have to sit back and say to yourself, you know what? That you just offered up your 2 children to be murdered by your brother. You have to be somewhat mentally ill at that point. At least you would hope to be. For all we know, Lori can just be an evil, individual, and she could be totally sound mind, but she just really believes, that there are zombies walking amongst us. Well, thank you, Sandra. I am me. This is me, and this is who I'm always going to be. Wendy, and you enjoyed it? You hope that it gets cooler? Well, thank you. I do too. Hopefully the temperature drops, even more tonight. I'm guessing she was labeled incompetent because she keeps insisting that she is a prophet and doesn't need to worry. That means she doesn't understand the consequences. But they're gonna quickly catch on if she's faking it. These people, that's all they do for a living. Is they work in restorative care and to get people well. They're going to catch on really quickly. That if she's faking it. Obviously before she had her children murdered. You know, when she put the hit out on her father, on Charles, and you know, maybe Joseph too. We don't know, but you know, when she went to be evaluated back then, she was able to convince them that she wasn't a harm to herself or her children. When Charles had her, you know, have to have an evaluation. So, if you want to see the zombie apocalypse, look at the Kingston, Pennsylvania. What's there in Kingston, Pennsylvania, Brooks? So really, are there zombies there? Because my wife has been waiting for the zombie apocalypse. I still don't get that she chose to and keeps Mark Means to represent her. Well, Tara, that was more of a decision after she ran out of money. That was more of a decision of the court than her herself. Obviously, she didn't have any issues with how he was representing her, because she wasn't in court for most of the silly motions that he has been filing. So maybe she doesn't even know about him or doesn't care. But after she ran out of money and the court appointed Mark Means to be her public defender, that was mainly because if they would have went out and had to get another public defender, Mark Means could have said, you know what, I don't want to handle this case anymore. I'm in the private sector for a reason. I don't want to be, you know, involved with this at all. He could have walked away right then and there. But when it came to, you know, when she ran out of money, they appointed him. They asked him, will you be her public defender? And he knows exactly what the rates are to be a public defender. They're nowhere near what he was getting as in private counsel. But, you know, if he wouldn't have stayed on, they would have had to have gotten another public defender that caught him up to speed on everything from the moment that, you know, that she was arrested in Hawaii, the extradition, and everything else that has happened all to this point. So that would have delayed the case probably another year, you know, and if not more, if they would have had to have gotten another public defender. Maybe we wouldn't have as much of a circus. We wouldn't have so much news, you know, about the case. I mean, he has kept it interesting. Let's look at it that way. But the publicity he gets off of Wisconsin. Oh. Chad Daybell had one of his people's preparedness meetings in Morgan, Utah. Went to high school there. It's a mainstream LDS town. I did not know that. I'm not familiar with Utah that much. I've only to the state of Utah. I've probably been there in my lifetime twice. And I think both times I was there were not for anything religious based. It was there to see friends and party. Be honest. I'm being honest with you. My sister used to live there, and now she lives in Colorado. I bet Kay is happy she changed her last name. Otherwise, she would have wanted Charles's assets. She wanted she wanted everything of Charles's anyways, and what she didn't get, she didn't care for. I mean, you got to remember when Charles died, Lori Vallow didn't even pick up the phone to notify his two sons of his death right away. And then she did it by text message. Yeah, that's no joke. She sent text messages to notify his two boys back east that their father had died by text message. And then after notifying them, she totally ghosted them. She just stopped answering their questions about, you know, when they asked how did their dad die. Where is he at? Where is this? You know, everything going? You know, when's the services? Stuff like that. She just totally ghosted him. went to high school there, Kicktown Morgan High School. There are a lot of extreme religious groups in America. A lot. They believe in some really bizarre, weird things. What Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell believe in this end of times, prophecy is not new. It's not anything new by a long shot. Chad Daybell's twist on portholes and being able to see through to other dimensions, that's kind of new, of a new twist, but with like an LDS background in it. The video of that area are extremely shocking. So sad to see what opioids do to people. It destroys lives, Brooks. It destroys lives. From aliens to zombies, yeah, and everything in between, and beyond that, we meet. Beyond that. I mean, we have there religious groups here that say that they're Christian-based. Religious groups that they're not, but they hide behind the name Christianity. I think the Daybell Vallow case is so outlandish that means fits the bill. I don't know. And between the two attorneys, between Mr. Pryor and Mr. Means, I think Mr. Pryor is doing a damn good job for, from the outside looking in. At least he's handling it more professionally, like he has experience and knowledge, to want to work with the DA because, what is it going to do for him if he pisses off the DA and he pisses off the judge? File and do everything the right way, as opposed to Mr. Means, who just keeps on filing endless freaking motions. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap up tonight's True Crime Trivia there. I hope everyone enjoyed the True Crime Trivia tonight. Let's see. I've got 30 questions on different state trivia questions about state laws. I have another one on general crime trivia, and then I have some on individuals who, high-profile murderers. So next weekend will not be general crime trivia. It'll either be the states or it'll be on one of the either spree or serial killers that I have 30 questions on. But good night, everyone. Thank you again. And I hope you have a terrific week ahead. And I hope that if you are someplace where it is warm, I hope that you're able to stay cool. Don't forget to give the True Crime Trivia a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would do so, because we're trying to grow this channel and and have everybody around for trivia night. And if you subscribe, you'll be notified when the next one is. So thank you again, everyone. You have a terrific week.